In this video, we're going to go over how to keep track of time in milliseconds in Java. This can be used for comparing two algorithms, see which one runs faster. Some people want to write a program where some event takes place after so much time. Whatever you want. Most programmers will eventually use the system time. Some people use milliseconds, some people use nanoseconds. I prefer milliseconds. Anyways, let's start this out to where we can actually call different methods besides the main one. We're actually only going to use one method inside this program, but I want to get in the habit of doing this all the time, so that's what we're going to do. Then I need to create my method. I'll call it time, and it's not going to call in any variables, or it's not going to take any variables, so that's how we will create it. Put a comment there so we know what's going on, get that in good habit. So the way you figure out the time in milliseconds is you need some type of value. I normally use a double, actually almost always use a double. So let's say double time1 equals system, if I can type right, system.currentTime and millis. And if you're using NetBeans, it'll remind you if you forget how to write that. And then I will print out the time, which is a double. Oh, time1. Oh, and before I do that, I need to type joey.time. So it will call that method. Alright, you can see here that the thing it put back, or it gave us, is a very large number, 1.43 times 10 to the 12th. The system.currentTime millis, that is the amount of milliseconds that has passed since 1970, which seems like kind of an odd date. I'm not sure why that date was chosen. I think it's just so everyone can get on the same page fairly easily. So, oh yeah, something I probably should have said before. 1 millisecond is 0.001 seconds, so there are 1,000 milliseconds per second. So we'll type in just a comment here, milliseconds per second, just for people who come to the video later skip around. So let's say we have a program we want to figure out the time it takes to run. Most of your computers are probably going to run faster than mine. This is just a program that I figured out would take about 9-point-something seconds to run on my computer. We'll do I++. We need we need three variables here. We need int sum1. We'll set that equal to 0. And we'll also set sum2 and sum3 equal to 0. So inside this for loop, we're actually going to have two more for loops. I'll have for int j equals 0, j is less than 1 with 8 zeros, and we'll have j++, and we'll have the same thing with k. So for int k equals 0, k is less than 1 with 8 zeros, we'll have k++. Let's see, we want to do sum1 plus equals k. Outside of that for loop, we will reset it to 0. And we'll also have sum2 plus equals j. So I really don't care what the values of these are going to be. Well, it's actually, I can figure out the values pretty easily, but that's not the whole point of what I'm doing. I'm just trying to make a program that takes a little bit of time to run. So let's see, sum3 plus equal I. Oh, there it is. So this program will take a little bit of time to run, and then after this part's done running, I want to get the time again, because the whole point of what I'm doing is find the elapsed time. So I'll say double time 2 equals, and then we're going to do the same thing as we did for time 1 up here. So I'm just going to copy and paste that. So find the difference between the two. We'll say time is equal to time 2 minus time 1, and we'll divide that by 1000 to get the number of seconds. So I'll run this program and see how it does. Okay, I'd pause the video to make that time seem faster than it would, to make that time seem to go by faster than it did. I forgot to actually print out the time, so we'll run it one more time. Alright, that program took 8.544 seconds to run, but what if I'd like to tell the user like how many hours, minutes, and seconds something took to run? Well, I can do that. I just have to do a little bit of math. If you want to tell them hours, minutes, and seconds, you can change these formulas to go into days, years, or whatever, but I think hours, minutes, and seconds are all that most people need. So the way I'm going to do that is, let's go with double seconds equals time percent 60. So that will give me the remainder after we divide the time by 60. So say it takes 123 seconds to run. 123 divided by 60 is 2 remainder 3. So it'll take that remainder, and that's what I'll get for seconds. I'll do something similar with minutes. That will be the time percent 3600. Let's see. I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I think that would be time percent 3600, but there's a different formula I can use, and really neither of these formulas take long to run, so I'll just do it this way. This is the way I've always done it before. It's the way I originally thought of it, so that's how I'm going to continue to do it. So what this does, it takes a current time, it finds the seconds, so the time, it then subtracts seconds and divides by 60 to get the number of minutes. And then whenever I want to do hours, I actually do something pretty similar here. I just change all the 60s to 3600, and I use the same exact variables otherwise. So time percent 3600, and we'll divide that by 3600. Alright, so I can print out these, but there's going to be a slight problem. So we'll say seconds I'll print out minutes, and then I'll do the same thing and print out hours. So if I run that and pause the video so you don't have to wait for it, we end up getting 8.729 seconds, 0 minutes, and 0 hours. Notice I have this 0.0. Well, if I'm having seconds, I really don't care about the 0.0 minutes, because it's always going to be 0.0 with this formula. So if I want to make this neater to print out, I just change these doubles, and I want to change them to integers. So we'll do seconds first. So we'll say int, I'll say I seconds for integer seconds. That'll be equal to int seconds. And I do the same exact thing with minutes. So that'll be int minutes. Now whenever I do this, that actually would have worked how I had it, I just don't like how it looks. Whenever I run this, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the seconds will be a little bit off. The seconds will not round correctly. That's always going to round down no matter what. And the way I like to print this out is I just have time and then sometimes I'll give an explanation. Let's see, we'll say hours, then we'll print out hours, and then we have some more text. Minutes, we'll print out minutes, and then we'll have a little bit more text, and we'll say seconds, need a space there. And that's how I normally print it out. So we'll run this program and see how it looks at the end. Alright, I did make a slight mistake just now. Notice it is printing the 0.0s. I forgot to do I hours, I minutes, and I seconds. So we'll try it one more time. Alright, so we now have the time in hours, minutes, and seconds. Notice we have 8.6 seconds up here, which does round down as we thought it would. But what if I want it to round up? If I want it to just say 8.612, what I can do is just get rid of the I and just print seconds down here. Let's see, if I want to just say like 8.6, there was an earlier video. I'm pretty sure I had an earlier video on this playlist. If I didn't, I'll go back and redo it. Either way, by the time you're watching this, there should be an earlier video on how to only print like the 8.6 or 8.61 or whatever you want. We will figure out a different way to do that. Say we want to round up to 9. So, what do? We will first create a new variable. Let's say we need it to be a double, so we'll say double, let's go with R seconds for remainder seconds. That will be equal to seconds %1. Then we'll print this out as we go along, so that will be R seconds, oh, need that inside quotation marks, so R seconds. So if I mess up, this will tell me where it is along the way. Then we will have a if statement down here. So if R seconds is greater than or equal to 0.5, we will take seconds, or I seconds, which is the integer, and increment it by 1. Otherwise, we will leave it still, so we'll run this program and see how it does. And it seems to be working just fine. The seconds was 8.9, so it is rounded up to 9. Anyways, I hope this video helped you understand how to do the time in milliseconds, and gave you a good understanding of what those big numbers actually mean. Ignore where R seconds is 9.06, then a whole bunch of zeros and another 6. That's called a floating point error, I believe. It's not something I really plan on covering in this course. I might later on, I don't know for sure. And we'll let you take a look at the code if you need any of that. And there you should have had the chance to pause it wherever you need. And I hope this video helped you. If it did, let me know down below. If you have any ideas for another Java video, please let me know. And if you need help with something, I'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching.